Invite viewers to post their location and local time. He wants to know who's listening in the early morning hours with coffee in hand and who's catching the story way past midnight when they probably should be sleeping. With that out of the way, the sun is already frying the Florida cul-de-sac when his Saturday morning goes off the rails. He's mid-tangle with a stubborn orange extension cord, sweat beading across his neck when a shriek slices through the air. The kind of glass-shattering hey that makes you think somebody just found a rattlesnake under their porch. He looks up and there she is. Karen, the HOA president visor tilted like it lost a fight with her hairdryer standing square in his driveway. She's pointing one hand at his golf cart, the other at her spotless silver SUV across the street. "That's my car," she announces, like she's unmasking a jewel thief. He blinks. Then he laughs. "Karen, this is a golf cart." That laugh is gasoline on her fire. Her voice goes nuclear. She insists he stripped her vehicle, repainted it, and disguised it as this little green cart humming quietly at the end of his driveway. He wants to argue, but before he can, his neighbor Mr. Johnson peeks over his hedge like a gopher armed with a watering can. Kids skid their scooters to a halt. A dog barks like it's been cast as the soundtrack. Suddenly, this sleepy street is an audience. Karen whips out her phone thumb, jabbing 911 as if she's detonating a grenade. "You're about to be arrested," she crows. He tries to reason, but she cuts him off, pacing like she's auditioning for a detective drama. Historians still argue whether it's possible to reason with someone mid-Karen spiral, but he knows the answer is probably not. And then the sound that flips his stomach inside out sirens. Blue and red lights wash across the cul-de-sac, bouncing off mailboxes and front doors. Two squad cars roll in slow and heavy as though they're raiding a bootleg casino, not a man's garage outlet. Karen waves like she's flagging down a rescue chopper, yelling that she's caught a thief red-handed. Folding chairs start appearing on lawns. One neighbor pops popcorn because why not? The officers step out, one tall with mirrored sunglasses, the other scribbling on a notepad before he even looks up. They listen as Karen rants about stripped panels and swapped wheels. The short officer glances once at her SUV, then at the humble golf cart. "Ma'am, that's a golf cart," he says flatly. She barrels on thrusting phone photos, swearing it once looked exactly like this. The taller cop coughs to cover his laugh, but Karen's quick with a pivot. Even if it's not her car, she insists it's against HOA regulations to charge outside the garage. He calmly flips open the HOA handbook page, 23 paragraph 2, like he's unveiling the Constitution. The officer nods. The crowd murmurs. Mr. Johnson whispers, "Better than cable." And just when relief creeps in, the shorter officer asks, "Sir, can we see inside your garage?" He freezes, HOA handbook clutched like a shield. "Why the garage?" The officer gives him that polite smile. That's not really a smile at all. "Routine check," he says. Karen's eyes light up like someone just handed her a golden ticket. "Yes, check inside. He's got the rest of the stolen parts in there." He sighs. Nothing to hide, nothing illegal. At least nothing that looks normal to people who don't know his hobby. The garage door rattles upward and the scene is, well, not flattering. Two half-disassembled golf carts, one red, one white, sit like patients mid-surgery. Seats stacked in a corner, wheels leaned against the wall workbench, covered in tools. To him, it's just a weekend project. To everyone else, it looks suspiciously like a chop shop. Karen gasps so dramatically she could have been auditioning for community theater. The tall officer steps inside, scanning. "You fix up golf carts?" he asks. He nods quickly, buys old ones, refurbishes, resells. "All legal. He's got receipts." Karen sneers. "Receipts can be faked." Then she spots a silver fender propped against the wall. "That's for my SUV," she cries. He lifts it, spins it so the faded club car logo is visible. 2014 golf cart. Not your car. The short officer confirms and Karen mutters conspiracies under her breath. Just as calm seems to settle, the tall officer notices a tarp in the corner. What's under there? His stomach flips. Nothing illegal, just weird. He hesitates, which makes him look guiltier. He yanks it back to reveal a half-built DeLorean golf cart. Stainless steel panels, gull-wing doors, flux capacitor dreams. The crowd gasps in perfect unison. Someone yells, "Back to the future." He grins sheepishly. It doesn't even run yet. The officers exchange a glance somewhere between weary and amused. They start jotting down serial numbers. Karen. She's on the phone again, pacing like a general. Then he hears the words that chill his spine. Yes, send a tow truck immediately. He steps toward her. Karen, you can't tow my golf cart. It's on my property. She swats the air with her finger. Bylaws say unauthorized vehicles can be removed, she insists. The tall officer intervenes. No violation, determined, no tow. But Karen smirks. By the time you finish your investigation, it'll be gone. The street buzzes like a live talk show. Mrs. Lopez bets Mr. Johnson $5 this'll be on Facebook before dinner. And then the deep growl of a diesel engine. A flatbed tow truck rounds the corner, hydraulic arm gleaming like something out of an action movie. The driver hops down, looking more confused than anyone. I was told there's a stolen SUV to pick up. Karen thrust her hand toward the golf cart. That's it. Stripped and disguised. Loaded up. The driver squints, then checks his paperwork. It says here, silver SUV. Karen flails. He altered it. The tall officer sighs, tells the driver no lawful order exists, he has to leave. Karen blocks the driveway like a one-woman barricade. Then I'll push it into the street myself. Gasps ripple. He steps forward, voice firm. Touch my cart and you'll be breaking the law. The driver, clearly not paid enough for HOA theatrics, climbs back in. Yeah, I'm out. The flatbed rolls away, leaving Karen trembling, glaring like he's just destroyed her empire. And then something strange catches his eye. Her SUV door across the street hanging wide open. At first, he thinks Karen just forgot to close her SUV in all the chaos. But then in the shadow of the driver's seat, a figure crouches, broad shoulders, hoodie pulled tight. His gut clenches. Officers, he calls, pointing. Both cops whip around radios, spark into life. We've got movement in that vehicle, the tall one barks. Karen freezes, mid-stride, eyes snapping toward her car. What, she gasps. She bolts, sprinting toward the SUV, screaming, "That's my car. Get out!" The hooded figure looks up, deer in headlights, then slams the door open and bolts down the street. The tall officer takes off in pursuit, the short one trailing radios, crackling sneakers, pounding pavement. The cul-de-sac erupts in chatter like an audience suddenly realizing the plot twist wasn't scripted. Karen stands rooted, hands clutching her chest. He was stealing my car, she whispers. Mrs. Lopez, still camped in her lawn chair, shakes her head. Guess these days she mutters like a Greek chorus delivering the moral. Minutes stretch until the officers return, hoodie guy, cuffed, panting like he's run a marathon. The short officer says, "Ma'am, we recovered some of your belongings from his backpack. He was trying to hotwire the vehicle." Karen pales, words stammering before she swallows them down. She glances sideways at him, at the man she accused. He can't resist. Guess you were so busy blaming me you didn't see the real thief. Her lips press into a line. She doesn't say sorry. Karen never does. But she mutters, barely audible, "Thank you for pointing it out." For Karen, that's practically an apology written in neon. The officers assure him his golf cart hobby isn't illegal. He can keep tinkering. Relief floods him for the first time all day. As the suspect is loaded into the squad car, the crowd breaks apart. Neighbors shaking heads, some grinning at the free show. Mr. Johnson strolls over, watering can still in hand, like he's kept guard duty the whole time. If the HOA starts charging admission for this street, you'll be the star attraction. He chuckles. He laughs too. Maybe he already is. Later, as the extension cord finally coils neatly into place, he notices Karen peeking from behind her blinds. This time, not glaring, just watching. Maybe she's thinking twice about the next emergency call. Or maybe not. Historians still argue whether a Karen ever truly learns. But one thing's sure, his golf cart survived the day his name stayed clear, and the neighborhood earned a story they'll retell at every barbecue for the next decade. And then the quiet comes back, the slow drift of normal life after a storm. The sun softens against the rooftops, painting long shadows across the lawns. The buzz of drama fades into cicadas and the rustle of sprinkler spray. His driveway feels calm again, like it's sighing in relief. He lingers, letting the silence settle, noticing how even the air seems cooler when the shouting stops. He thinks about how fast ordinary mornings can tilt sideways, how quick suspicion can blind someone to the obvious. And he knows that even when neighbors clash, sometimes the truth peeks out like light through a crack. He gathers the last loop of cord, tucks it on the hook, and closes the garage, heart easing with the rhythm of small, ordinary motions. By nightfall, the cul-de-sac hums, steady porch lights blinking on kids called inside for dinner. Somewhere Karen draws her blinds. Somewhere else, neighbors laugh softly about popcorn and police chases. And he finally lets the day go. Because tomorrow will come with its own noise, its own ordinary chores, maybe its own storm. But for now, the quiet belongs to him, to the hum of crickets and the cooling air, to the safe little golf cart resting where it should. And in that quiet, he exhales, knowing he can sleep easy.